Before I give the word to our very curious audience, that I'm very happy they are ready to ask questions, I will just ask you one question. So how did it start? How did you visit the area? How did you decide to make this film?
Yeah, so hello again. So I actually was a bit surprised for me that I end up doing this film. When I went there, I was not expecting that I was going to make a film. I wanted to visit the Amazon, and I wanted to be involved in a project, or like to go in a place where I could be welcome, or where I could share some time with the community. And I discovered that there was this community that was open to receive people that could go there to help the local teacher on the school. So I decided to go for 2 months. That was the minimum stay that they were didn't want people that were going to stay less than that time. And I was also doing film workshops in Portugal with kids and communities. So I thought that would be something that would be interesting to share, to do, to experiment with the kids there in the community, or even with the adults if they were open to it. So I took with me very small, basic equipment, just a camera and a microphone connected to the camera. And I went alone, and then I arrived to it. It was an adventure to arrive there because it's very isolated. We have to take a small plane and then a canoe to arrive there.
Torej, Inês je iskala priložnosti, kako bi lahko obiskala amazonsko območje, kako bi lahko prispevala k temu, oziroma kaj bi lahko tam počela, in je odkrila nek program prav v tej skupnosti, zelo odprt program, kjer so sprejemali prostovoljce za njihovo šolo, za otroke. Če si bil pripravljen preživeti 2 meseca s temi otroki in pomagati učitelju pri učenju teh otrok, si bil dobrodošel. In tako se je Inês opogumila in se prijavila. Ker pa ima sama odprej že izkušnje dela z otroki, s filmom, s filmskimi delavnicami, je vzela s sabo še kamero in mikrofon z namenom, da bo z otroki, pa tudi z odraslimi, če bi želeli, izvedla kakšno filmsko delavnico. Območje je zelo izolirano, treba je leteti od mesta 1 uro z letalom in potem še uporabiti kano. So we stayed with the canoe. Yeah.
Maybe it's important to say that I discovered this in internet. There was a couple outside of the community that met the community first, and they proposed to the community if they were open, or if they wanted to receive people there from outside to help on the school. And then I discovered this in internet, and I talked with this couple, and they were not living there anymore, but they were making the bridge, and so they explained me how it worked, and so through them I understood how I could arrive.
Torej, za to možnost je izvedela preko interneta. En par je tisti, ki se s tem ukvarja in deluje kot posrednik. Bila je tam sama, ampak ona dva sta bila nekako posrednika, da je prišla do tega dela.
And when I went there, I started to meet all the kids, all the community, and I was spending all my day with them and in school with the kids, but especially also outside of the school. I was having long walks with them on the forest, and we started to make talking about films and how the films are made. I had a small projector with me, and I decided to make some film nights for the whole community. And then in school we were also talking about how the films are made. We started to play a bit with the camera, and at some point we started to film. I was filming, but also they were filming, and it started to be the idea that we could do maybe a film. I was really, really impressed by the way they were so independent, autonomous, the knowledge they had, the resourceful they were with the forest, the connection they had with the forest. And I thought that would be very good that if we make a film focus on that topic. And then I talk with the whole community to see what they think about it, and everyone agree. And then I talk with the kids, and most of them were happy to do that. Some were not so interested. So I respect that. And with the ones that were interested, that was clear, they were all the time coming to me. And at some point, it really began to be a very collective process. They start to come to me saying, I think we should go to film. We go to fish. I think it will be nice for you if you come and then you film. Or they were giving me ideas of things that they thought it was interesting to show.
They were your script writers.
Yes, basically.
Torej, Inês je z temi otroki preživela zelo veliko časa. Ne samo, da je bila pomočnica učitelju v šoli, ampak se je z njimi popoldan tudi sprehajala po gozdu. S sabo je imela tudi projektor in jim je ponudila nekaj filmskih večerov in potem so spontano začeli otroci se zanimati za film in so že prišli do tega, da so začeli s temi prvimi fazami delavnice, da so tudi otroci že snemali in več časa, ko je preživela z njimi, bolj je bila navdušena nad njihovim odnosom do gozda, do medsebojnega sodelovanja, njihove neodvisnosti in tako se je porodila ideja, da bi pravzaprav poleg tega, da jih uči, morala od njih še posneti film in se je v tem posvetovala s celotno skupnostjo in z odraslimi in z otroki. In nekateri otroci so zelo, kako se temu reče, zagrabili to idejo in so začeli zelo aktivno sodelovati pri procesu nastajanja tega filma, tako da so ji recimo predlagali, kaj če bi šla ti z nami na ribolov, to je nekaj, kar bi bilo fajn, da ti posnamaš, da vidiš, kako mi lovimo ribe in tako. In pa sem se jaz pohecala, da so bili njeni scenaristi, da so ji pomagali ustvariti film. Zdaj pa mogoče damo, we give the word to the children. Ja? Torej, kdo bi želel? Aha, imamo tukaj prvo vprašanje, izvoli. Imaš že mikrofon.
Kako imajo tam telefone, pa internet, pa elektriko, vse to sred gozda, pa nimajo za šah, tole ploščo?
Lahko ponoviš vprašanje?
Kako imajo telefone, pa elektriko, pa vse to?
Na splošno?
Pa nimajo ene plošče za šah.
Nimajo plošč?
Za šah.
Aha, ok, ta kontrast med predmeti pa tehnologijo. Ok, so how come they have phones, computers, but they don't have the chessboard? The chessboard.
Yeah, they started to. Actually, when I arrived, they had electricity for 2 months with these solar panels, so it was a very recent thing to have electricity there. But the parents, they start to buy smartphones. They can get some money. They receive some money from the state, and also sometimes they go out to the city and they work in construction, so they get some money, especially young men, and other things. They also have ecotourism in another community close by where they can also work as guide, and they can have some money, and so they start buying smartphones. Sometimes when we see in the film, sometimes it was my smartphone, but a lot of other times it was not mine, it was the parents' smartphone. So the kids don't have the smartphones, they were using the parents. And but there is no network, there is no internet. They really they cannot use it as a phone to call, but they use it as to see films, to play, to film, to take pictures. They exchange between them films, like in the memory card, and so they sing films. And even if when I arrived, it was 2 months. I have the electricity, but it was new that I could have it charging all the time. But they have seen it before, but then they just could not have it and charge it. And the computers the same. There were 1 or 2 people there that had computer.
Ok, torej to s šahom ni bilo odgovorjeno, ampak kar se tiče telefonov je pa tako. Elektriko so napeljali 2 meseca, preden je ona tja prišla In takrat so začeli starši z denarjem, ki so ga bodisi prislužili z delom v bližnjem mestu oziroma malo večji vasi, bodisi s tem denarjem, ki ga dobijo od države, so začeli kupovati pametne telefone, ki pa jih ne uporabljajo zares kot pametne telefone, zato ker tam ni interneta oziroma do zdaj ga ni bilo, zdaj je. In so ga bolj uporabljali za snemanje, za slikanje, imajo pa te spominske kartice noter telefoni in si potem otroci med sabo izmenjujejo spominske kartice, zato ker iz njih gledajo tudi filme. So pa to telefoni od staršev, ne od otrok.
And about the shares, so probably nowadays it's not so easy to buy as cell phones, and probably the parents didn't thought about it when they went to the city, so they didn't bought it.
Kar se tiče pa plošče za šah, pa morda jo ni tako lahko najti tam, morda pa pač to ni nekaj, čemur bi dali starši prednost, ko so šli v mesto in ko kupijo stvari, ki se jim zdi, da jih rabijo. Povej.
Ali so imeli ti otroci izkušnje pri lovljenju ali tako pri dobivanju hrane?
Pri nabiranju recimo. Tako. So these children have experiences with getting themselves food. Yeah.
Yeah, as we see in the film, they go a lot alone to take fruits, to fish. Hunting is a bit more difficult for them to do it alone. They normally do it with the father. But the rest, yeah, as we see it, it's really, they do it and cooking since very young. 5 years old, they were making the fire and cooking.
Torej, z lovom niti ne, pač pa z nabiralništvom, z nabiranjem sadja in ribolovom pa vsekakor ja, kot se vidi iz filma. In že tam nekje od 5. leta dalje znajo pripraviti ogenj in si hrano tudi skuhati. Aha, imamo eno vprašanje na balkonu, izvolite.
Koliko je dežval?
How much was it raining?
A lot, every day. Yeah.
Veliko. Še eno vprašanje na balkonu.
Koliko slikic je rabilo, pa koliko časa je trajalo, da se je to naredilo?
How many frames, or another question, how much time did you need to make this film?
Yeah, I was there 2 months, so the filming part and meeting, and it was 2 months. Then it was a lot of time to edit. And waiting for having money to make post-production, to make the film better, to have sound, working on sound, working on the image. And I was there 4 years ago, so yeah. I also wait a lot. It's not that I was working all these 4 years on the film.
Torej, pred 4 leti je tam snemala 2 meseca. Potem je pa sledila tako imenovana postprodukcija, to pomeni delo na filmu potem, ko je snemanja konec, to pomeni obdelavo slike, obdelavo zvoka in s tem je bilo zelo veliko dela. To ne pomeni, da je delala potem to 4 leta, ampak precej dolgo pa ja. Film je pa doživel svetovno premiero na letošnjem Berlinalu. V Berlinu smo ga prvič gledali. The Berlin Festival was then the first world premiere. Yeah. Ok, izvolite.
Kjera pasma psov je tisto?
Which dog species were we able to see in the film?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know nothing about dog species. So.
Pravi, da ne ve kaj dosti o psih. A imaš ti mogoče kakšno idejo, katera pasma bi to bila?
Ne.
No, I don't think so.
Tale perujski goli pes.
Ruski goli?
Perujski.
Okay, there is a I don't know the name in English, but there is an idea of which species could it be. Super, bomo pol pogledali. Naprej, naslednje vprašanje.
I wonder if children brush their teeth.
Vprašanje je, ali si otroci umivajo zobe?
Normally no. they also were not used to eat a lot of things like sugar and just the sugar from the fruits, but not like candies. But nowadays they start eating a lot of these things because, there is an interesting thing is there is a boat that goes through the river like once a month, and it's a shop. It's like a grocery shop, and there they can buy a lot of things, also the clothes, buy and exchange as well for other things, and they get a lot of candies in this, and they start having problems with the teeth. And the only time I saw kids brushing the teeth was when they were having a really heavy pain.
Torej, odgovor je, da niti ne. Pravzaprav je do nedavnega sploh ni bilo nekih težav s tem, zato ker tudi niso imeli dostopa do take zobem bolj škodljive hrane. Je pa zanimivo to, da imajo na tej reki Pastazi tudi čoln, trgovino čoln, kjer potem prodajajo tudi bombone, tako da zdaj otroci seveda jejo sladkarije in seveda jih bolijo zobje, in ko začnejo boleti zobje, si jih začnejo ščetkati.
Jaz sem vprašanje, če so otroci, ki so bili v filmu, sploh kdaj videli film.
Joj, nisem te razumela, lahko ponoviš, prosim?
A so otroci, ki so bili v filmu, sploh kdaj videli film?
Okay. Did the children in the film saw the film?
Unfortunately, still not. I really want to go. I will go there. I hope until the end of the year, and I will show them the film try to make a big projection there. And I'm very, very curious to see the reaction. Now they will be 4 years older than we see in the film, so maybe the youngest don't even remember that they were participating on this. But at least the adults know the film was finished and it is shown, but I don't know how much they share with the kids, so I think it will be a big surprise.
Torej, namen je, da bi režiserka osebno odpotovala tja in jim ona pokazala film. Starši je v stiku in starši vejo, da je bil film končan, ampak ni pa prepričana, če otroci to vejo, če so to starši predali otrokom. Kakorkoli filma še niso videli, ampak režiserka bo poskrbela za to, da ga bojo. Zdaj bom pa jaz tukaj le spredi še vzela eno vprašanje, izvoli.
Kako so jim dovolili mačete, če so pa ful ostre tako?
How come they are allowed to use machetes?
It's kind of, they need to be able to use them because it's really a tool for them, also a tool to protect them for some dangerous animal they can find on the forest, and also it helps them a lot for walking, like to cut, as we see in the beginning, and also even to pick the trees. It's really a tool for them. Of course, it's a dangerous thing to have, but they also learn that since very young, and they know that they have to be careful, but they have to have it.
Torej, dovolijo jim zato, ker jih v bistvu rabijo. Rabijo jih zato, da lahko hodijo po gozdu in si sprot delajo pot. Rabijo jih zato, ker morajo včasih presekati na pol kakšno strupeno nevarno žival. Seveda jih pa potem uporabljajo tudi zato, da si naberejo hrane. Začnejo jih uporabljati zelo zgodaj in vejo, da morajo biti pazljivi in se pač z uporabo naučijo.
Kaj so pa delali ti starši, da so zaslužili, ker jih pač ni bilo domov po več dni?
So, where were the parents and how do they make money?
The parents, we don't see them, but they are there. But kind of a universe parallel. It's like they are doing their own thing, and the kids, they are doing their own thing. And it was a decision of mine to not show the parents. When I was there, I didn't know that I will make this decision, so I have a lot of footage with the parents as well. But actually what we see, most of these scenes, these actions happen without the parents. So it's true that they were doing this alone by themselves, but they live with the parents and they learn these things with the parents, but they go a lot, they spend a lot of time alone and learning, collaborating between themselves. And the money thing I explained already, it's they receive a small amount of money from the state. And they work, some of them go out to the city to work. Normally they go back to the community because the life they have in the city is very hard for them. They have really bad conditions. So they realize that it's much better, they prefer to stay in the forest. But yet sometimes they go so they can have some money to buy things that they need. And also there is this ecotourism. It's a project in a bigger community, close like 1 hour in a canoe, and where they can work as guided tourist guides and also on the working as waitress on the so. And I also sell to these tourists some crafts they do.
Okay. Torej, starši, ti otroci, čeprav jih vidimo bolj same v filmu, seveda živijo s svojimi starši in od njih se tudi učijo stvari, ki jih morajo vedeti, zato da lahko vse to počnejo. Ni pa to neka izkrivljena podoba, zato ker čeprav živijo skupaj s svojimi starši, živijo majčkeno vsak v svojem svetu, v smislu, da starši delajo svoje, otroci delajo svoje. Nekateri starši hodijo v to večjo vas, ki je 1 uro s kanujem oddaljena, delati na različne načine. Tam je tudi ekoturizem, kjer lahko, poleg tega, da so turistični vodiči ali pa natakari, lahko tam turistom tudi kakšne izdelke prodajajo. Dobijo pa tudi denar od države.
Kako pa so se nasploh vsi naučili, kaj je strupeno, kaj pa ni?
How did they learn what's poisonous and what's not?
I think the parents tell them. It's kind of a knowledge that they keep and
To je znanje, ki potuje iz generacije v generacijo, iz izkušenj se potem mlajši od izkušenih učijo.
Yes, for me, what really impacted me a lot and wanted me making this film is really understanding this resourceful they were, the independence, the autonomy, and I thought it was like I really wanted to give the feeling that I had when I was with them alone on the forest. So I decided to go more like radical and really kind of creating a bit this illusion that they live alone. It's kind of utopian, but it's really to bring really this feeling of the autonomy that they have, and that's how it. Yeah, that was the focus. I wanted to put it on the film, so I decided that would be interesting. That we wonder how are the parents, and that's also why I put the last scene with the adults. It was a little bit to give. To reveal that they are there as well. They're doing their own thing, also in a very collaboration way. They don't interact much with the kids there. So it's kind of, it gives something before we finish the film. It maybe brings some answer to that.
Imela je veliko posnetkov, na katerih so tudi starši. Ni snemala s tem namenom, da staršev ne bo v filmu, ampak šele v procesu montaže je ugotovila, da če hoče poudariti to njihovo avtonomijo, to sposobnost teh otrok, da znajo vse narediti sami, bo to najlažje dosegla tako, če pač izolira, uporabi samo tiste posnetke, na katerih so otroci. Je pa potem za protiutež, da bi vseeno malo pokazala, kako to izgleda na koncu, uporablja še posnetke moških iz gozda. Kje imamo naslednje vprašanje? Tukaj, izvoli.
A jih ni bilo nič strah, ko so bili kar bosi?
Če jih ni bilo nič strah, ko so bili kaj?
Kar bosi.
Bosi. They were barefooted, so weren't they afraid to be barefooted? Were they having some fears?
Yeah, I don't think they were afraid of being barefoot. They were very used to do that. They were very skilled on, like, I don't know, going down the cliffs and everything. I was, at some point, when I arrived, always with boots, but after a while I was seeing them in barefoot. I also started to go on barefoot. But of course for me it was a disaster. I was always having injuries, and I was also fall a lot because there is a lot of, it rains a lot, and there is also a lot of cliffs to go to the river, and I was all the time falling, and they were laughing a lot on me. But they many times have injuries on the feet, but they have a strong feet. So.
Torej navajeni so tako in njim lažje, kot je bilo pa njej, ko je probala biti brez čevljev. Zelo ji je drselo po dežju in je veliko padala in otroci so se veliko smejali. In tudi boleljo je seveda, kar pa ne pomeni, da otroci ne doživijo sem pa tja kakšne poškodbe, ampak so na nek način navajeni. I would like to ask you one more question. I think it would be interesting for the audience to know as well. We were speaking if oil industry that already reached Ashwar also reached this community that you visited. And you told me something very interesting.
So when I was there, there was, at least I didn't heard so much about, I knew there was some oil exploitations in the Amazon in Ecuador, but not so much in that area where I was, and we didn't talk so much about this while I was there. It was not so close to them. But now, after I was there, there's some companies, special European companies, that are going there to cut trees, to use the wood to use it in the winds of the turbines for the wind energy here, and it's a very how do I say this? Controversial thing, because it's in theory to produce better energy, green energy, but then we are cutting a lot of trees, and it's destroying a lot of the. It's disappearing from their animals and destroying the way their place, and also bringing a lot of problems. And they are really trying to fight this.
Torej, vprašala sem jo, če je tudi to skupnost dosegla težava z črpanjem nafte, ki je dosegla to pleme Ashwar ob Pastazi, ampak pravi, da ne, prav v tej skupnosti ne, je pa potem naknadno, ker je pač v stiku z njim izvedla, da imajo zdaj velike težave z posekavanjem nekega specifičnega drevesa, ki ga v Evropi uporabljamo za vetrne elektrarne oziroma za turbine, konkretno za krila, zato ker je trdo in upogljivo hkrati. Tako da v tem trenutku se soočajo s tem. Zdaj pa moramo žal zaključiti. Režiserka bo z nami še v kavarni. Bomo vzeli še eno zadnje vprašanje, ki je...
A so se otroci umivali v reki ali v slapu, ali se sploh niso umivali?
So were children washing themselves in a river or at the waterfall, or they didn't wash themselves at all?
They wash themselves every day in the evening in the river.
Vsak večer se umivajo v reki. Thank you so much, dear Inês. I'm very happy you're here with us. Hvala tudi vam za vsa vprašanja. Tisti, ta najbolj radovedni, pa se seveda lahko še pogovorite z režiserko. I told them they can still reach you if they have more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.